Alright. Borkas, welcome in. Jasper, you're a little bit of a wet pup, Jasper. It's been nasty weather out there. I think we're not getting any snow, but this has been cold and rainy. The worst combination in my opinion. What do we got today? We got some YouTube, some free content. What is it here? Chat, hope you had a good Tuesdays. Tuesdays. Yeah. The Terriers are on Westminster. Yeah. You're getting lots of snow. Finally, Teeny gets snow. Hope it's not too bad. Hope it's okay. Teeny Beninis. Let's see here. What we got? I know, Jasper. I know.
First, yes.
All right. We have a thing from XKCD's What If. The question is, what if you built a 1 billion-story building? Uh-oh, 1 billion stories? So it would be 10 billion feet high? That's pretty high. I think we're going to the moon.
This question came from Kira, who at age 4.5 wanted to build a 1 billion-story building. Actually, it came from Kira's dad, who wanted to help Kira appreciate how big and difficult such a project would be. Kira, if you make a building too tall, the top part is heavy and it squishes the bottom part. Until you make it really tall, and then the top part will tear itself off and go into orbit near the moon. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Have you ever tried to make a tower out of Jell-O? It's easy to make a little tiny wobbly Jell-O castle. In fact, some people like to serve fancy Jell-O that way. But if you try to make a really big Jell-O castle, the whole thing smushes down on itself.
Well, it's gonna fall down if you keep on throwing things at it.
The buildings we make are strong. The tallest are almost 1 kilometer tall, and we could probably make buildings 2 or even 3 kilometers tall if we wanted, and they would still be able to stand up under their own weight.
I think make sure Mix It Up is working here. I don't know. Make sure disguise are working. Am I still muted? I'm not muted, right? There we go.
Buildings too. One is wind. The wind up high is very strong, and buildings have to be very strong to stand up against the wind. Another problem is, surprisingly, elevators. Tall buildings need elevators, since no one wants to climb hundreds of flights of stairs. If your building has lots of floors, you need lots of different elevators to get all the people where they're trying to go at once. Some of our existing tall buildings have floors purely dedicated to letting people change from one elevator to another. If you make a building too tall, the whole thing gets taken up by elevators and there's no space for regular rooms. Another big problem is money. A building several miles tall would cost many billions of dollars, and most people don't think giant towers a few miles tall are important enough to spend billions of dollars on. Even if you found a lot of money, you'd still have problems making a tower 1 billion stories tall. 1 billion stories is just too many. A big skyscraper might have about 100 floors, which means it's as tall as 100 little houses. If you stacked 100 skyscrapers on each other to make a mega skyscraper, it would reach halfway to space. This skyscraper would still only have 10,000 floors, which is way less than your 1 billion floors. So let's stack 100 mega skyscrapers to make a mega skyscraper. The mega skyscraper—
That's 1 million floors. Uh-oh.
Would stick out so far from Earth that spacecraft would crash into it. Some, like the International Space Station, could steer around it, but space is full of broken satellites and pieces of junk all flying around at random, some of which will eventually smash into your mega skyscraper at very high speeds. And anyway, a mega skyscraper is only 1 million floors high. That's still a lot smaller than the 1 billion that you want. So let's stack up 100 mega skyscrapers to make a mega skyscraper. The mega skyscraper would be so tall, the top of it would just barely brush against the moon. And it would introduce a new problem: centrifugal forces. Just like how a swing carousel throws you outward, anything spinning in sync with the Earth's equator is thrown outward. On the surface, objects literally weigh about 0.5% less at the Earth's equator than at the poles. The farther out you go, the weaker Earth's gravity gets and the stronger the centrifugal force is. The effects are equal at just over 1/10 of the way to the moon. If you build a skyscraper this tall, you could launch a geostationary satellite just by letting go of it out the window.
What the fuck?
But our mega skyscraper is so much taller than geostationary orbit that most of its mass is where the outward pulling centrifugal centrifugal force is much, much stronger than gravity. The engineering challenge of this skyscraper isn't that it'll collapse down on itself like jello, but that it'll tear itself up by the roots and go into orbit near the moon. And it still wouldn't be a billion stories. To get there, we'd have to stack 10.
All right. See, this is I will say this. People will have a hard time understanding how big a billion actually is. A billion is a very large number. And, you know, a billion story building would yeah, it goes way past the moon. Look at that. It just goes way, it's freaking half, it's on its way to Mars almost.
Mega skyscrapers on top of each other to make one Kira skyscraper. At the top, the Kira skyscraper would be going faster than the speed with which the solar system orbits the Milky Way. And if you timed things right, you could launch a satellite with almost enough velocity to leave our galaxy just by letting go of it out your window. Suffice it to say, the Kira skyscraper would be pretty close to impossible to build, and any loose pieces would fly off and get strewn throughout the galaxy. But the view from the roof would be incredible.
Yeah, billion's a big number. So when you can do a lot with $1 billion. You know. Do a lot. This guy's made books, little science books for this. Speaking of billionaires,
that nobody saw coming, yet everybody saw coming, the world's most powerful man, Elon Musk, has launched a hostile takeover bid to gain control over OpenAI by offering the board $97.4 billion, which is not a bad deal for a company with only $3.7 billion in revenue that burns through over $5 billion per year. Unfortunately, Sam Altman has already declined this generous offer and even made a counteroffer to buy Twitter. Elon then responded by calling Sam a swindler and came up with the new nickname of Scam Altman. People are calling Elon a financial terrorist, but there's more to Elon's offer than meets the eye, and it's yet another.
Speaking of these Cybertrucks, a report came out saying that you're more likely your Cybertruck's more likely to catch fire than a Pinto. You know, those old cars from the 70s that would spontaneously combust if you hit them from behind.
Terrorist, but there's more to Elon's offer than meets the eye, and it's yet another 5D chess move to troll his arch nemesis and finally beat the game of total world domination. In today's video, we'll analyze the recent shots fired and what could be the most consequential beef of our lifetimes. It is February 11th, 2025, and you're watching The Code Report. Whether you love him or hate him, you gotta give Elon credit for his impressive developer portfolio. He made electric cars cool, he put internet in space, installed brain chips in us, it took control of the federal government, and is well on his way to fulfill the prophecy in Wernher von Braun's 1954 book, Mars Project, where a character named Elon becomes the leader of Mars. But he's still missing one critical piece to win the game of total world domination, and that piece is artificial intelligence. He already has xAI and Grok, but OpenAI has become like Coca-Cola. It's just overpriced sugar water, but there's a ton of value in the brand name. You can get cheaper AI from RC Cola and better tasting AI from Pepsi, but Coca-Cola still dominates. The thing about OpenAI is that it's trying to go from this weird cap
Gemini's
to a full for-profit public benefit
I don't know who Claude is.
And that doesn't sit well with Elon because he donated around $50 million to it when it was a non-profit. That's toilet paper money to Elon, but he's refusing to let this rug pull go because he cares too much about the safety of humanity. That's what he says, but OpenAI released receipts a few months ago showing how Elon wanted to merge OpenAI with Tesla and take control of it back then to fulfill his manifest destiny of bringing the world AGI. Now, despite this generous offer from a guy who's currently going as Harry Balls and offering circumcisions at a 50% discount,
what
it
the
might
heck?
seem a bit low considering
primitive.
how SoftBank just valued
I heard
OpenAI
the
at
good
$260
news.
billion days ago. But the interesting thing about Elon's offer is that it's only for the non-profit, which OpenAI says is fairly valued at $40 billion, and they want to keep that value as low as possible when transitioning to the for-profit structure. You can't buy a non-profit outright, but you can buy its assets, and in this case, one of its assets is control over the for-profit. And that means if it's truly valued at $40 billion, the board of directors would be crazy not to sell it to Elon for over double the price, at least in theory, but what it does in reality for the time being is complicate OpenAI's OpenAI's transition to for-profit, because OpenAI Profit needs to compensate OpenAI Nonprofit for its ownership of OpenAI Profit. And what that means is that jacking up the price of the nonprofit makes it more difficult for the nonprofit to abandon its mission of creating AI for the benefit of humanity to sell itself out for a for-profit mission for the benefit of shareholders. Not to mention, Microsoft is entitled to a share of OpenAI's future profits, so it likely complicates that deal as well. Now, I highly doubt that Musk is doing this for autistic altruistic reasons, but Altman is no good guy either. I feel like I'm reliving 1866 all over again. No different than when Cornelius Vanderbilt tried to take over the Erie Railroad, while Fisk and Gould used market manipulation to fight off the hostile takeover. But there are other elements at play here too, like OpenAI is about to release its own chip, and just a few weeks ago they released a chatbot specifically for government. Meanwhile, Elon is running Doge, which has been uncovering all kinds of waste and abuse of taxpayer money. And the entire deep state is terrified of this 19-year-old hacker named Big Balls.
The unfortunate nickname Big Balls.
He's one of Elon's Doge employees and is now a senior advisor to the US State Department. And now my Illuminati handler, who is being paid by USAID, is worried he might lose his job. Ultimately, though, the likelihood that Elon actually buys OpenAI is extremely low, currently sitting at 3% in the betting markets. But one thing's for sure, the great Elon Altman beef is far from over. This has been the Code Report. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
Good old Polymarket. Well, Polymarket may get Polymarket may get shut down. Because it's now you can bet on anything on Polymarket. All right, we got this. We got this. What was this? Oh yeah, there was a new Beats by Dre.
Launched in 2010, Powerbeats is the best-selling fitness headphone of all time. Now, after relentless testing and evolution, Powerbeats Pro 2 is ready for action, and it's the most advanced product we've ever built. The perfect fitness headphone starts with the perfect fit. That's why we conducted over 1,500 hours of rigorous testing. The result, even for the world's greatest athletes, Powerbeats Pro 2 stays locked in, and it will for you too. Even with all its added features, it's now 20% lighter. The ear hook is rebuilt with a nickel titanium alloy for unbeatable grip, comfort, and flexibility. And it comes with the most ear tip sizes we've ever offered. All to make sure it holds strong for ears of all shapes and sizes. Powerbeats Pro 2 delivers powerful sound and technology to match any training environment and any athlete. It works seamlessly with both Apple and Android.
Yeah, but it doesn't use the same codecs as the AirPods, so it sometimes can be like connectivity with Apple can be a little bit of a problem because they don't let you use their Bluetooth codecs or whatever they're called.
To give you truly personalized sound, we included adaptive EQ. And for absolute workout focus, we added active noise canceling to Powerbeats for the first time. In fact, Powerbeats Pro 2 has the best noise canceling we've ever developed. And when you need awareness of what's around you, Transparency Mode has your back. Powerbeats Pro 2 is our first ever product to feature heart rate monitoring sensors.
Wow.
And they're hyper accurate. Precision-crafted LED optical sensors pulse light over 100 times per second to measure your heart rate. All this can be relayed to your favorite fitness apps in real time. And of course, you can turn heart rate monitoring off whenever you want. Powerbeats Pro 2 is built for performance. With the charging case, it has up to an incredible 45 hours.
They've never lasted you 1 year? Oh no.
Asked for a smaller
I have
so we made it 30
earbuds. They've lasted me a long time. I'm not on wood. I think
each earbud
I think I've had these for 4 years.
With an IPX4 rating. And you can control
the hardest part is not losing them.
Voice. We pushed Powerbeats Pro 2 to the absolute limit. Unbeatable fit, active noise canceling, heart rate monitoring, and up to 45 hours of battery life with the charging case.
Look at that.
Everything you need to train harder.
I thought Apple bought Beats by Dre. Maybe they bought. Maybe it was another company that they bought. What is this? Friendship trailer. A24 movie.
Howdy. Howdy.
What's this? Oh.
Honey, the new neighbor invited you over for a drink at 8 tonight. I said you'd go.
You don't know my schedule.
You sit there every night. Might be nice to have a pal, you know, a bud.
A bud. Uh-oh.
Hey guys, this is my neighbor Craig. He's the best. I was spiraling. I mean, I see the way the guys look at her. I'm scared.
Sheila's lucky to have a dad like you.
Boy, you should know that I've got you on my mind, your secret admirer. I've been watching you at night. I think of you. I want to be your baby.
If your game is on, give me a call, boo. If your love is strong,
I can see the future. It's full of pals. I'm on the edge of life, and the view is gorgeous.
An absolute
We
nightmare.
had a couple of really nice hangs, but I think it best that we go our separate ways. I don't wish to continue this friendship.
you all accepted me way too fast. You can't do that. You made me feel too free. People need rules.
You should be dead, you psycho! Who are you?
Give me a second chance. Get to know me.
The heck?
There's a new Marvel out that's supposed to be nuts. We should go see that.
Yeah, let's go see the new Marvel. Let's go see the new Marvel. But it hasn't shown the comedy. No. Paul Rudd, Tim Robinson, Friendship. Yeah, should I be laughing or scared? I don't know. I saw this. Ferrets are smart.
When I first got my first 2 ferrets, I made it clear to them that they weren't allowed to come out to play until they used their litter box. They pretty much caught on to this right away, but pretty much right after that, they started trying to fool me. So when they knew it was time to come out, they would sprint to the litter box and make this great big deal about just pretending to use the litter box. I was really thrown by this because I hadn't had ferrets for very long, so it never occurred to me they could use their brains for evil. I started out with just the 2 ferrets. Now I have 5 ferrets.
Oh, God.
Too many ferrets, you might say. I don't know how they all happened to me. But anyway, my one female ferret, Princess, is sort of particular about her food. Ferrets are meat eaters, and I feed mine different types of meat that I thaw out from the freezer. Princess's favorite foods are duck, turkey, chicken, really any poultry, but especially duck. That's her favorite one.
not the
And I know it's
ducks.
her favorite one because every time I give it to her, she eats it really, really fast, and then she runs over to me to snuggle, which she doesn't normally do. Her least favorite foods are pork and beef, especially pork. She hates it, and she hates me for giving it to her. Every time I try to feed it to her, she either refuses to eat it, or she takes a couple of tiny, miserable bites out of it before coming up to bite me and to dig at my bare skin, as though to punish me for giving her the wrong food. And it's not like she's starving. She always has freeze-dried food available that she also likes. I don't want to quit feeding them pork either, because everybody else likes it, especially Steve. He's way into it. What really made me realize that ferrets are way, way smarter than I was expecting was something my ferret Toast did. I was having a really busy morning and rushing to meet a deadline. Toast kept coming up to hang out with me and to push buttons on my computer. I really just did not have time for it that day, so I took him up to bed and moved the big wicker laundry basket they used to climb up there with me so I could get some work done. Toast found an empty box from somewhere in the room and pushed it all the way up to the bed to use as a footstep, as though he were in a puzzle platformer video game. I didn't know he knew how to do that.
The problem solver. You want a ferret, buddy? No, I think you would chase it. I think you would try to kill it. That was kind of cute. I would say a lot of people, ferrets are not for everybody. They're not like a cat or a dog. They are escape artists, and they can stink. They can have a horrendous odor to them. But it's not something that cleaning them can do. I think it's hormonal. It's from hormones, I think. Or glands. But yeah. I would say ferrets, they're probably the most domesticated of the, like, you know, of the little weasel marsupials by far. Stoats are also, you know, kind of like this as well. They're smaller than a parrot, but yeah, I don't know. I think I'd rather get a fat trash panda just feeding popcorn. You know, they're also incredibly smart. Speaking of trash pandas, what's this?
The lotion here's the best. What's your secret?
Actually, it's all thanks to Jerry. Hey, Jer, how's it going?
Hey, Lois. Another day.
Waxy monkey frogs secrete a substance that applied on their body to seal in the moisture.
The lotion here's the best.
Yes, I drink things. I like, of course, feeling elevated, but I'm very fond of beer.
They were washed and in the middle of good deep mugs of beer when Mr. Butterbur and Nob came in again. In a twinkling, the table was laid. There was hot soup, cold meats.
Oh, this is from The Hobbit. This is from the end of the Prancing Pony chapter.
Half a ripe cheese. Good plain food. As good as the Shire could show.
I've always smoked. I sometimes smoke beyond the point when you enjoy it, which is silly, but I do smoke and enjoy it. And as a matter of fact, it's now so tied to writing that I can't write without it.